Good morning and welcome along to AFTV News Daily, the early edition. I say good morning, it could be good afternoon or evening, depending where you are watching us from right now. But welcome along to the show, broadcasting to you, of course, across YouTube, Facebook, Periscope, Twitter, and of course, Twitch. Welcome along, and I'm hoping you're having a good day. Lovely weather out there today in the UK. I've got to say, was just out and about doing my little walk. From tomorrow, I'll be able to go out and about more than once a day. That's going to be good. So looking forward to that. And of course, as the days are going on, there seems to be a little bit more optimism with this coronavirus crisis over here in the UK that we will get the Premier League started again. And they had a meeting yesterday of the Premier League clubs, and I think the majority of them want to get the season started. They know that if they don't get the Premier League started, there's going to be a lot of clubs losing a lot of money. I mean, the estimates are that they could lose £1 billion, £1 billion if it's not completed this season. They may, even if it is completed, still lose, I think they said over 300 million, because the TV companies may seek compensation because there's certain games that were supposed to be played on certain dates and times that won't be able to be played on those times. I mean, the TV companies are going to have to change the schedules that they've come up with. But there seems to be a will to try and get this season completed. They're going to be discussing as well, I think either today or tomorrow, this whole thing about neutral grounds, which seems to have caused a problem with some of the clubs, especially the clubs near the bottom, Watford, Brighton, Aston Villa, all of them complaining about they don't like this idea of neutral grounds. And the Project Restart group that are trying to get this whole thing back on again have said that they will discuss this and will try to see if they can come to a solution. However, it may be out of their hands. You heard last week, he's one of the, I think he's a chief of police or one of the main police in the country, you know, saying that these football clubs need to get a grip. Get a grip. You know what I mean? This is not normal circumstances. And if you're not going to do it in these sort of ways in which we're saying, because we're going to be the people who are going to have to police these games, then it might not happen at all. So, and as I said, if it doesn't happen at all, they will lose mega money, all of them. So it's going to be interesting. There's got to be some sort of compromise here. It's a different time. Things are going to have to be done in a different way. It's as simple as that. It's the only way we're going to get the season completed. So we're going to have to keep an eye and see how that one works out. By the way, I didn't like that news yesterday that I saw on Ian Wright, Arsenal legend, Arsenal great guy as well. Posting out yesterday some screenshots on his Twitter account of some vile abuse and racist abuse as well that he's been getting. One of the tweets that I saw where the guy said, if I saw you and I had the coronavirus, I'd cough on you, and calling him a monkey. And I was like, what's up with some people? I mean, I'm glad that Ian Wright highlighted this. We hate talking about this. We absolutely hate talking about this because we shouldn't be talking about this, but it still exists. And even a great like Ian Wright can end up getting it off of people, and it's just not on. And I hope that they find out who this person was and he gets dealt with. But just on a greater level, this just should not be happening in this day and age. I get fed up of talking about it. I've done obviously I had the documentary on it and stuff like that. And as I said in that documentary, we just do not want this creeping back into the game. But Ian Wright, well done for highlighting that, because when it does happen, it has to be called out so that people can realize what's going on, and the majority of people who are decent and don't do this sort of stuff will get on these people's cases. So well done to Ian Wright. On the transfer front, Mesut Ozil's agent yesterday talking a lot about Ozil, basically saying that when his contract runs out at the end of next season, he won't be signing again. Arsenal are not going to be signing him on, or are not looking to extend his contract, and that will be the end of his time at Arsenal. He was being asked about links to Fenerbahce and clubs like that, and he wasn't ruling any of it out. He was just saying, obviously they're going to have to take stock and see where they go from here after that period comes to an end. but it's certainly looking like once his contract is up by the end of next season, that Mesut Ozil will be moving on. Let's hope that we can get the best out of him now in the last year and a half that he's going to be here. Certainly, I had Lee Gunner on the show last night. Obviously, not a fan of Mesut Ozil, by the way he was talking. He was going in on him hard. But me personally, I would just like to see him finish off with a hurrah, go out fighting sort of thing. With some really, really good performances. But his agent seemed to confirm yesterday that once that contract finishes, that it is. I think we all knew that anyway. That his time is coming to an end, and that they'll move him on. But it certainly doesn't look like he's going to be moving on this summer. It definitely looks like he's going to stay until the end of his contract. Who will take over from him? Well, one of the players being touted for that at the moment is this young Argentinian. He's only 19, goes by the name of Thiago Almeida. Now, he plays for Vélez Sarsfield. He's, as I said, over there in Argentina. I remember one time we were trying, I can't remember the name of the player we were trying to buy before from that same club, Vélez Sarsfield. But yes, he plays for them, and he's a very talented midfielder, playmaker, and Arsenal very interested in him indeed. Arsenal obviously taking a look at the moment at quite a few sort of playmaking midfielders. I think they realise that they are lacking in that area, and this guy being linked very heavily with Arsenal. I don't really know, I have to be honest again, don't really know a lot about him, just seen the the YouTube clips and the little bits and bobs, but he does look to be a talented player. There are other clubs looking at him as usual, as every talented player out there is being looked at by a host of clubs. I always say this, in football nowadays, there's no secrets. It's not like back in the day where, it was easy to unearth these gems. A lot of times people know about the gems. Even, remember, Martinelli, he'd even have a trial at Man United before we got him. So, some of these gems are known about. But be interesting to see how this one works out. Thiago Almeida from Argentina. And could he be on his way to Arsenal? Only time will tell. And midfield-wise, Dani Ceballos. Now, it looks like Dani Ceballos, again, is going to be returning back to Real Madrid when his loan deal expires with Arsenal, which has been extended. It's been extended until the end of June. The Premier League have given a lot of clubs the option to extend these contracts out for these players because of the unusual circumstances that we are going through. So his time is going to be extended till the end of June, but it doesn't look like Arsenal will be retaining him after that, and he may be on his way back to Madrid. So we are going to be short in that area. And a creative midfielder, I think, is one of those sort of players that Arsenal will be looking for this summer, because certainly they may be a bit short. Or do they just bring back somebody like a Smith Rowe or something, as some people was suggesting yesterday? But Dani Ceballos looks like he's on his way back once his loan deal is completed. And also looking at a centre-back today, plays for Basel. That's the same club over there in Switzerland where we got Mohamed El Neni from. His name is Ire Komert, and he's a 22-year-old Swiss player of Turkish heritage. Had a really, really good season for Basel over there in Switzerland. Very highly rated by a lot of clubs. There's quite a lot of clubs looking at him at the moment. But Arsenal said to be one of those clubs that are taking a look at him. Centre-back position. I mean, thinking of, if we do bring in a couple of centre-backs, I mean, we're going to have to shift out about 4 centre-backs to make way for them, because all of a sudden we're going to have a load of centre-backs, but it's about getting in quality. Now, does this guy fit the bill? Who knows? But as I said, he's had a good season at Basel, and we'll have to wait and see how this one develops out. But Arsenal, taking a look at him, Ire Komert from Basel. Let's get into some of your comments this morning and see what you guys are saying. Harry Maguire says, the Ian Wright racial abuse is disgraceful. You know, it is. You know, and I hate to have to talk about it and bring it up, and you know, I hate talking about that subject. You know, because it's not football. We're off topic. You know, but you know, it's happening still, man. Even a legend like Ian Wright can get it. Billy Dalton says Mesut Ozil's agent has said that Arsenal won't be offering Ozil a new deal, so he will stay this summer and see out the remainder of his deal until this season 2020-21. What do you guys think about that? You know, are you happy with that, or would you rather him go this summer? I mean, he's not going to go this summer, is he? You know, he's not going to go this summer. No way. FIFA Gaming says voids taken off the table by the FA chairman. That's right. They're saying that that's not going to be an option, void in the season. So they're determined to get this season finished. And unless it will be finished, unless we start to see a spike in cases that then says, you know, we just can't do this. So let's hope we can get the football back on before and just complete this season. That's the first obstacle. Let's complete this season. Harvey Palmer says Almeida is a quality player. So I don't know how much he's seen of him, but he there is saying he's a quality player. Would love to hear from more of you if you have seen him, you know, just to find out what you think he's been like. George Ortiz says Almeida is not ready to play at the highest level. He's an Argentinian here, so he's Argentinian, so he'll know. He said he needs more time and he lacks end product. So there you go. That's a guy over there in Argentina who's saying that Almeida is not ready to play at the highest level. Noah says, hi, Robbie. Noah Sexton says, hi, Robbie. If we buy Rabiot, we're not going to get Partey, so we should just concentrate on Partey. I don't want any of them random centre-backs I've never heard of before. You know, you wouldn't have heard of Sionchu, the guy at Leicester. When we was being linked with him, I remember people saying similar things. Oh, who's Sionchu? Who's he? You know, look how good he's been for Leicester. He's been exceptional. So, you know, you ain't always had to have heard from them for them to turn out to be very good players, you know. But he's one of the big names. That's all he's interested in. He's not into those little names. Mr. A says, Robbie, do you still want Coutinho? Reports came out yesterday that he's injured again and out for the rest of the season. Stay away. Well, if that's true, maybe we should stay away. I was always say that at the start of it. Why not Coutinho? Because I just look on him and say he's a goal-scoring midfielder. He's quality. We don't score enough goals from midfield. So if I just thought he's a player that could come in and add goals, but at the amount of money and all that, it just seems seemingly impossible. Andrew says if we sign Partey and another class midfielder, we would solve our midfield problems. It would be great. It would be great, but the money. Samuel says, I'm glad that Ozil will be off next summer. He's past it. Oof. Faisal says, Robbie, if the season finishes, who do you think will go down? Well, I think the three that are at the bottom right now are in big trouble. I saw Norwich. What are Brighton in there? I can't even remember. But Brighton, I think Brighton, Norwich, Villa. I looked at their running, man. It's difficult. They've got some tough games in there. I think Villa are in big trouble. And Villa's defence is not very good. And if your defence is not very good, you're going to leak goals and that will send you down. Kenneth Lynch says, have a beer on me, Robbie. Thanks for all the updates. Legends. Yeah, mate. Cheers. Where is it? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. I really do appreciate that. And for everybody who's been watching these shows, it's been fantastic. Dr. Viraj says, hi, Robbie. What are your thoughts about Liverpool's swap deal for Thomas Partey and Chamberlain going to Atletico? Do you feel that deal will happen? No, I don't think that deal will happen. Why would Oxlade-Chamberlain want to go to Atletico Madrid? You know, you're at the best team right now. You know, anybody wanting to leave Liverpool right now, you'd have to say you have to be mad. That's the best team around at the moment. The best team. They won the European trophy. They won the World Super Cup. they're going to win the league easily. Why would you want to leave a team like that? You know, unless it was maybe a Real Madrid or Barcelona, maybe. But even then, you're at the best team. I mean, if your ambition as a footballer is to win things, you stay at the team that is winning. You know. Dan T says, if our players are that greedy, we should have Champions League football within a season or two. I really understand that one. Greedy or greedy for success? Otto M says, Partey with a loan with an option to buy. Atletico would agree to that. Would they agree to that? Would they agree to that? You really don't know whether they'd agree to that or not. Why would they agree to that? I wouldn't agree to that if I was Atletico. Ricky Vlog says, hey Robbie, what's your best Arsenal moment as an Arsenal fan in your life? Mine is when we beat Tottenham 4-2 at the Emirates last season. Lucas Torreira scoring his first goal. Atmosphere was mad. That was a great game. Incredible. But I always say for me, it's not a single game. It's probably that invincible season. Although the 89 win, you know, the 89 win, and I was chatting to a friend of mine about this yesterday. The 89 win is Arsenal's greatest ever single moment, in my opinion. What they did, going there, last game of the season, and winning that game, I don't think nothing matches that. I really don't. As a single game. But for me, that season was just brilliant, man, when we went invincible. You know, that was just awesome time to be an Arsenal fan, and I just love to reminisce about that and wish that we could have those days back. But you'd have to say 89. I wasn't actually at the game in 89. My friend I was chatting to yesterday, he was there, and he, you know, when he talks about it, man, I mean, just being at games like that, those moments are just never ever going to leave you. You know what I mean? They just live with you forever and ever as an Arsenal fan. But watching it on TV, it was awesome. Ahmed says, hey Robbie, did Cristiano Ronaldo deserve a standing ovation? It's disappeared on me. We've got to get that super chat back. Sorry, it's just disappeared on me. It should appear back, hopefully. Mike says, hi Robbie, where's Ty? How comes he never comes on any of your videos? Love from Dublin. Listen, we've been trying to get this guy on, Ty, yeah? When it comes to technology, the guy's got a phone. Just to try and to explain to this guy how to get his phone so that he can get up onto the live stream is like pulling teeth. We're trying, bro. We're trying, but it's difficult. Oh my gosh, man. Mate, I think probably times more would be able to get it sorted once the lockdown eases a bit and we can actually be there to show him how to do it. Gosh. Alex says, Don Robbie, try and get Ian Wright on. Respect to you, Wrighty. Yeah, we'll try and get Ian Wright on. He's been very, very busy. Obviously, he's a very busy guy. But yes, definitely try and get him on. Omar says, Almeida is class, man. Sign him up. Have you seen him, though, Omar? Did you just say the opinion of that fan who's Argentinian? He says that he's seen a lot of him and he's not ready yet for the Premier League. Those are his words. So, Ashir says, your opinion on the new Arsenal kit with the Fly Better logo. I personally think it looks a lot more cartoonish. Is it a step in the right direction or wrong direction? Well, that's the sponsor. You know, if that's what the sponsor's got on it and they're paying a lot of money, that's what you got to go with, you know. I like it. You know, I don't think it's better than last year's kit. I think last year's home kit was outstanding. The one that the proposed one that I've seen is good. And I always say this is really difficult to, you know, especially to get a good home kit is really difficult because when you've done a really, really good one, like what they did last year, it's really hard to improve on that because basically you got red with white sleeves and you can't really deviate too far from that or else it gets a backlash. People get upset because they're like, well, where's the white sleeves gone? Or why have you done that? Well, you know what I mean? There's not a lot you can do. So with the limitations you have on a home kit, I think they've done a good job. I like it. I like the Adidas kit so far. They've been last year's kits like this one. I thought this kit was outstanding. It really was. So I like the Adidas kits. Trent says, Robbie, what kind of send-off will Ozil get when he goes? I know it's going to be a Bergkamp-like with orange T-shirts, but will it? I know it's not going to be Bergkamp-like with orange T-shirts, but will it be positive? I think so. I think it'd be positive. Ozil's still a loved guy. He's still a much-loved player at Arsenal. Unless you're Lee Gunner days, who for some reason, like, just last night, man, he was going in on him. I was like, come on, Lee, man. You know what I mean? Yeah, but I think he'd get a great send off. I really do. It all depends, really. You know, if you can put in a big season. Thing is, right? If you imagine this, he goes next season and has the season of his life. Would you extend it for a year then? If he had the season of his life, if he was brilliant next season. You know, finished off this season this well and then had a great season next year, would you give him a 1-year extension? I'd love to hear from you guys. Nadzalama says, hey, Rob, all the love from South Africa. Please try to say my name. Nadzalama, I hope I pronounce it right. Probably not. But listen, enough respect to you anyway. Prasanna says, hey, Robbie, why no talks on Depay? Love from Nepal, because probably Depay would be so expensive. There's no point in entering to those talks. We're not going to be paying that sort of money this summer. That's what's going to be happening. Mr. Yellowman says, how about Christian Pavon? We were linked with him previously. We were. Another person love from Nepal. Big up everybody watching over there in Nepal right now. Redistro says, Robbie, have you heard of the youngster George Lewis, who's aged 19? He's quality. Apparently, we're trying to sign him. We are trying to sign George Lewis. That is a deal that could happen. That could happen. Norwegian, that could happen. So, looks that's a bit of the DNA that, you know, we're going after these sort of young players. Mr. Rotten says, is DT coming on tonight? Well, we've got the All Guns Blazing podcast. We're doing 2 a week at the moment. And we got one coming out today, and I'm sure he'll have a lot to say because he looked pretty upset yesterday in the comments with Lee and some of the things that I was saying as well. So yeah, he's going to be on All Guns Blazing podcast, which will be out today. So make sure you check that one out. I'm sure he'll be bruising. He can't wait to boast to me how he won that poll, which, as I said, I didn't care about no poll. It was my opinion. And what are we doing? We're starting back the season, which is basically what I was saying. They're going to try and get the season started back. And what happens if we don't start the season back? As I said at the start of the show, teams could lose up to 1 billion. And if we lose up to 1 billion, what happens? Lots of people are out of their jobs at a football club. And I'm not talking about the players here. I'm talking about the ordinary folk that help to run the club. Andrew says, Don Robbie, what I admire you most is not just how you built AFTV platform, but how humble and down to earth you still are. You care for the fans. Oh, thank you very much. Oh, I'll get some good compliments this morning, man. I mean, that's good. That's nice. Thank you very much, man. Nice comment to make my day. Kingsley says, I'm not having Ozil for an extra year, Robbie. No. You sound like DT. No. He's not having Ozil. But what if he put Kingsley? If the man put in a big season next year, it's his last season, yeah? And Ozil was the Ozil that we all know he can be. Would you not give him a 1-year extension? I would. No? Ceballos says, hey, Robbie, would you rather get players on a free swap or give youngsters a chance? I think we're going to need a bit of both. We're going to need a bit of both. We're going to have to give some youngsters a chance. I'm up for giving someone like Emil Smith-Rowe a chance. I'm up for seeing more of Willett. I'm up for seeing more of Reece Nelson. We got them. We brought them through the academy. We're going to have to give them a chance next season because the money ain't going to be there. So I'm up for that. I think it's going to have to be a mixture of that. We're going to need a couple of free transfers. Swap deals, it depends who we're swapping. I mean, if we're swapping, I'm not sure about this swap deal thing, man. It all depends what's coming in the other direction. And as I said, who we're swapping. Because I don't want to be swapping our best players. Magweta says, love from Kenya. Love to you as well, brother. Ricky says, do you think Smith-Rowe deserves a chance? as I said, why not? Why not? You know, I think he's quality. Liverpool YNWA says, Robbie, is it a morale thing? If Arsenal players take a pay cut, then you go, hey. This is a Bluetooth thing going off there. Robbie, is it a morale thing? If Arsenal players take a pay cut, then you go and buy players. Oh, yeah, I hear what you're saying there. So you're basically saying, you know, they've asked players to take a pay cut, then they go out and buy. Well, great point. How can you ask all the players to take a pay cut and then you go out and spend 100 million on a player? We're not going to do that this season. We're not going to do that this season. They could maybe have said to the players, listen, take a pay cut. And maybe the players might have said, well, what happens about players? Are we still going to be bringing any quality? And they might have said to them, well, yeah, we are going to, but we need this pay cut first and foremost so that we can deal with the staff, so we can, the rest of the money we use on play. I don't know. We don't know what the conversation was, but I hear what you say. I certainly, there's not going to be no big money spending, because if you're a player and you then saw Arsenal go out and spend £150 million, you'd then be like, well, yo, money back. Mike Dennis says, Adidas or Nike Arsenal kits? Ooh. It's got to be Adidas, I think. Adidas so far, I think, have made the best kits for Arsenal. So some great Nike kits as well. But yeah, I'm going Adidas. The classic kits that Adidas have made, I think that, and then this season with, you know, the kits that they brought out, I think they're edging it. You know, but they have had a couple of chances at it, whereas Nike have only had that the once. Ilan says, Ozil is world class. Wenger knew how to play his system, but when Wenger started to decline, Ozil also went down from 20 plus assists a season. Then there was good evening, Freddie. Now Arteta is working. Yeah, I think Arteta might get the best out of him. Definitely, I felt Freddie and also Emery. And like he said, Wenger towards the end of his reign, they weren't playing Ozil right. And like somebody said on last night's show, is that type of number 10 that Ozil is that type of number 10 sort of dead in football now, because you want your number 10 to press. Ozil's, that's not really his game. Pressing, tackling, he doesn't really do that. He's just about creating. So, you know, oh, back on the kits debate, Omar says JVC or Sega kit sponsor. At the front, Robbie, I like the Sega, but I like the JVC. That's a hard one. I also like both of those sort of sponsor names on it. I like the Sega, man. It gives you that retro. They're both retro, though, isn't it? JVC's retro as well. I'll go Sega. I'll go Sega. Let's get a few more we're going to do before we end the show today. Akini says, I will not give another year to Ozil. The same deception before signing the mega money deal. No, 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 no to anything, Ozil. Even if you had a great season, a one-year extension. Come on, why not? Eyeblind says, O2 is the best. The O2 shirts. Nah, man. Not better than Sega. And let's get one more today. Let's find one more great comment. Lots of it on the Ozil debate. Let's go with this one. Mikey G's says Ozil is finished. Can never be what he was. He must go. His style of play is over. Sell Aubameyang if he ain't signing. We need to move like a big club. Mikey G's serious this morning, man, so you ain't messing with him. Listen, thanks for watching the show. Don't forget, we will be back this evening at 8 o'clock with News Daily Part 2, the evening version. Thanks for watching the show, and have yourself a real fantastic day wherever you are.